Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vance. If today is the very first time coming across my channel, thank you for stopping by. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. So in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you the easiest way to make a notch collar, just the way it is in this video. So if you're interested in learning how to make a perfect notch collar, then stay with me to the end of this video. So this is the fabric that I'll be using for my notch collar shirt. So first of all, I will go ahead and open up the fabric, then we'll start drafting. So this is a leftover fabric anyway, so I'll just go ahead right now and rule out my starting line. So after ruling out my starting line, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my button stand where the button is going to sit. So for this, initially I wanted to use 4 inches, but I realized that if I use 4 inches it might be too wide, so I now decided to use 3.5 inches. Now make sure you use between 3.5 inches to 4 inches for where your button is going to sit. So when I'm done marking it, guys, I went ahead to use my ruler to connect it into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. After connecting into a straight line, guys, the next thing I went ahead to do is to take my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I came down by my shoulder slope, and then I went ahead to get my armhole line or my chest line. So when I got my chest line, I used my ruler to connect it into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. So after I was done with that, guys, the next thing I went ahead to do is to repeat my shoulder measurement on that chest line, and then I used my ruler to connect it from that shoulder slope downwards. Then after I was done with this, I got the middle of my armhole and I came in by 0.75, and then I connected it just like this. So before I connected it to the chest, I went ahead to take my bust measurement and I divided it by 4. I imputed it there and I marked it. When I was done with this, guys, I now went ahead to use my ruler to give it my armhole curve. Then I proceeded to take in my neck depth. So my neck depth, I used 3 by 3 for both neck width and neck depth. Then I went ahead to connect my shoulder slope, just the way you see me doing. So the next thing I did was to take my vertical measurement. So for my vertical measurement, I'll be measuring my half length, which is 17. I marked it there, and then the length of the shirt, I used 27 inches. I marked it there, and then I used my ruler to make the point, to connect the point to a straight line. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll go ahead right now and take my waist measurement. My waist measurement divided by 4, I marked it. I didn't add my allowance immediately, so my hip measurement divided by 4, I also marked it there. So then I now went ahead to connect this point first before adding my seam allowance. So in adding my seam allowance, I will not be adding any seam allowance in my waist. So first of all, I'll be adding seam allowance in my bust, that's my chest line. I use 2 inches for my seam allowance, and then I'll go to the hip and also use 2 inches for my seam allowance. I did not add any allowance on the waist because I want there to be free. So I connected my my allowance line to the hip line. So when I'm done with this, guys, I will go ahead and cut. You will know the reason why I did not add allowance to my waistline as we proceed in the video. So this was me when I was cutting out our front piece. So this was when I was done cutting out the front piece. The next thing I'm going to do now is to bring my fabric to draft the back. So this is the fabric that I'll be using for the back. I'll also go ahead and rule out my allowance. So that's my starting line, sorry, not allowance. So when I'm done with these guys, I will take my shoulder measurement, I will mark it there, and then I will come down by my shoulder slope, and then I will also get my armhole line, I will mark it there just the way you see me doing, and then I will connect this chest line now into a straight line. So from this line now, I'm going to also impute my shoulder measurement, and then I'll connect it up to the 1 inch shoulder slope I came down by. When I'm done with this, I will take my my armhole line, the midpoint, I will take it, but I will not be coming in by any ½ inch because this is the back and I don't want it to be too fitted. So I went ahead to impute my bust measurement and I connected it to get my armhole line. I'm sorry for my kata, I'm actually not feeling well. So I went ahead to impute my 3 inches neck width and 1 inch neck depth, and I used my ruler to connect it like this, giving it a curve. So when I'm done with this, I'll also go ahead and rule out my shoulder slope, just the way you see me doing. After I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and take my vertical measurement, which is my half length. I will go ahead and mark my half length, and then I'll mark the full length of our shirt, which is 27 inches. When I'm done with this, guys, I will use my ruler and I will connect it, the point that I made, into a straight line, just like this. After this, guys, I will go to my waistline and then I will divide my waist by 4. Whatever I have, I will impute it there. So I divided my waist and then I also divided my hip by 4. I imputed it. So the same way I did for the front, that's the same way I'm also going to do for the back. So I went ahead to connect the points that I made into a straight line, just the way you see me doing. I've connected it. So now on the chest line, I'll be adding my 2 inches allowance, but I'll not be adding on the waist, just the way I did for the front. I added also on the hip, and then I'll use my ruler to connect it into a straight line, just like this. The reason for this, as I explained earlier, I'll be sharing with you as we proceed in the video. Then I went ahead to cut out my piece. So after cutting my piece, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to set out another material that I will use to cut my sleeve. Because the fabric is not enough for the sleeve, I'll just manage it like that. So now for the sleeve, I want to have 2 layers of sleeve. That's 2 layers of puff sleeve rather. So I ruled out my starting line and then I checked the width, although it's not so much, it's not so big, but I will manage. So for the first layer, I went ahead to use 12 inches. Initially I was contemplating between 10 inches and 12 inches, but I went ahead to actually use 12 inches. So when I'm done, this is what I want to achieve at that point. That's fold, because I'll be adding elastic across that line. So for the second layer, I use 10 inches. Why for the other layer that will flow out, I'll actually use 8 inches, and then I added allowance of 2 inches. So when I'm done with this, I'll just cross check and check the length that I have. So I already said I was going to add 2 inches extra, plus that's 2 inches extra for the seam allowance, like the folding allowance of our sleeve. So when I'm done with this, guys, I'll just go ahead and cut out the sleeve, open it up because it's folded into 4. So I'll open it up and then I'll separate it. So this is it, guys. This is our 2 sleeves, and then I'm going to go ahead and trim out that starting line mark that I have not trimmed out. So after trimming, guys, this is it. So I'm going to be adding my elastic on the line, you get. So I'm going to open it up right now, then I'll show you that how I'm going to add my elastic. I'll draw my line to be straight so that line is where the elastic is going to pass through. Now if you want to do elastic casing for this, you are allowed. Maybe you don't want your elastic to show, you don't want anybody to see your elastic, you can actually go ahead and do your elastic case. But for me, I didn't do elastic case. I just went ahead to attach my elastic to the sleeve. Like I went ahead to sew my elastic following the line that I created. So this line that I'm actually marking is where I'm going to place the elastic. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So this is the elastic, guys. This is how I'm going to place it. Are you seeing? So this is how I'm going to place it, then I'll be sewing it. So I'll go ahead right now and sew it and show you what I'm trying to say. So this is the elastic. I went ahead to place it on that line, just the way you see me doing, and then I will be sewing it and I will be dragging. First of all, the first line you're going to sew, you're not going to drag. It's when you proceed in the sewing that you now start dragging it. So I went ahead to just sew, drag and sew till I achieved what I wanted to achieve. I did this to the both sleeves, like the 2 layers of sleeve that I wanted to use for this. So this is the tip. I went ahead to hem it. So when I'm done, guys, this is how it looks after I was done sewing. So this was what I was explaining. If you don't want your elastic to show, you can actually use a casing, sew it to your fabric, and then pass your elastic through that casing. So now for my shirt, guys, I'll go ahead and join my shoulder to shoulder. When I'm done joining the shoulder to shoulder, I will go ahead and shape it. Are you seeing? I've gone ahead to shape. I've gone ahead to also add my shoulders. This is a very easy tutorial, but you have to just follow the step-by-step process. So this is it, guys. So the next thing I'm going to do now, that part I told you that on the waistline I did not add allowance because I want to put rope by the side. So this is it. From my armhole line, I came down by 7 inches. From that side seam, I came in. Okay, let me explain it from this side. So from my armhole line, are you seeing? I came down by 7 inches. So from that mark now, I came in by 4 inches. I'll do the same thing for the back. From the armhole line, 7 inches. From that mark I made, I came in by 4 inches. I'll also do the same thing for this part because I will be adding rope and then I will tie it to give me a kind of a shape around my waist. So when I'm done with this, I'll use my scissors and then open up. I'm opening up this part where I marked that 4 inches mark that I made. That's where I'm opening it up. Are you seeing? So I'll go ahead and open all the marks that I made because that is where the rope will pass through, just the way you see me doing. You have to be careful so that you will not make that part you're opening to be too wide. So you just have to open it a little bit. Don't make it too wide. So when I'm done with this, guys, this is the rope that I'll be using. I've gone ahead to sew it. The width of the rope is 2 inches. The length of the rope is as you desire. I did not check the length of it. I just cut the rope like that. So you just pass it through that hole, just like this. Are you seeing? You pass it through the hole that you made, and you do the same thing for the back. Then you will now go and sew it. So after I'm done sewing it, I will show you how it looks. So this was when I was done sewing. Are you seeing? We now have 2 ropes by the side where you can tie it so that to give your waist a kind of snitch effect. So when I'm done with this, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to attach the sleeve. So after I'm done attaching the sleeve, then I will now go ahead and show you how you're going to do your notch collar, because this is like the major thing for this tutorial. So after I was done attaching the sleeve, are you seeing I've attached the sleeve? So I'll go ahead right now and measure my round neck. So there's a part that I notched there. You know, I used 3.5 inches for the button stand. That is where the button will sit. So I notched it. From that place that you notch now, you're going to measure round to the other end that you also notch. So the total of what I have was 17.5. The total of my round neck from that notch that I made is 17.5. So whatever you have, you minus 2 inches. So I minus 2 inches from that 17.5, giving me 15.5. So this is the fabric that I'll be using. I've gone ahead to add my interface and everything that I need for it, which is my interface, and then I'm kind of shaping it so that it will be this thing, it will be equal. So this part now that is folded is going to be the middle part of our neck. So I'll go ahead now and take the width of our collar. So before the width, I'll go ahead now and divide. You know, this fabric is on fold, so I'll divide my round neck. That's 15.5 divided by 2. I'll mark it, and then I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then I will not connect it with my ruler, just the way you see me doing. So after I'm done with this, guys, I will now determine how wide I want this collar to be. So from this end, guys, I'll be taking 3 inches, while from this part I'll be using 2.5, because I want that part to be edgy. Are you seeing? To be pointy, rather, not edgy, to be pointy. So when I'm done with this now, I'll connect it. So before I cut, I will add allowance. So I'm going to be adding 1/2 inch allowance at this end. Just watch closely what I'm saying. I don't know if I'm fast, but be rest assured that you understand. It's very easy. So after adding my allowance, I will now go ahead and cut it out. So this was when I was done cutting it out. I will now go to my sewing. I will notch first before I go to my sewing machine. After notching, I'll go to my sewing machine, and then I will sew just one part, the upper part of it, just the way you see me doing. I will sew it down, and I'll show you how it looks. So this is me sewing that upper part. Are you seeing how okay, just watch how I'm sewing it, guys. So I first of all sew the tip of the collar. You know, I'm not sewing the down part of the collar, because that is where I'm going to be attaching to my shirt. So after sewing the tip, guys, just watch. Now at the hem, I folded it, that 1/2 inch I marked, I folded it. Are you seeing? I folded that half. It is not equal with the other tip again. Are you seeing? Just pray you understand. So this was it when I was done. I see that one part is longer than the other part. The part that is longer is the part that I did not fold. So this is how I do it. I just use my chalk to highlight where I'm going to sew it down. So I will now go ahead now and bring in our shirt. Remember that we removed 2 inches from the total round net. You know that our total round net was 17.5, and we removed 2 inches. That 2 inches now that I removed, I'll be sharing that 2 inches in 1 inch. So I'll be marking 1 inch now. Are you seeing this 1 inch? I'm going to notch it. I'll be moved from that notch now. Are you seeing? That 2 inches I removed, I'll be sharing it 1 inch on both sides. So this is the 1 inch now that I've notched. Are you seeing? So now from this 1 inch, now that is where I will now place my collar. We now have 2 notches, 1 and 2. So it's the second notch, which is the 1 inch that you will just notch now, that you will now place your collar on. Just the way you see me doing. This is very easy, trust me. Then I'm now going to go ahead now and flip my collar like this. Are you seeing, guys? So do well to flip your collar just the way you're seeing me do it. If you don't understand, when you start sewing your own, trust me, you're going to remember what I just said. So I went ahead to pin it. I also do the same thing for this part. So from that 1 inch notch, I will place the collar. Are you seeing? Then I will flip the 3.5 inches button stand that I made. I'll flip it over to the other part, and then I will use my pin and hold it together. Just to pin it down. When I'm done with this, I'll take it to the sewing machine so that you see how I was able to sew it down. So I just kept on pinning. It's very important that you pin, so that, you know, this is Ankara, and Ankara is stretchy, so it will not, one part of it will not be longer than the other part. But if you pin it down, everything is going to be perfect. So I just went ahead to pin till I was done pinning. So I'll go and sew it from there with 1/2 inch straight down before I now turn my collar. The other collar that I folded, do you remember that one side of the collar is bigger, is longer than one? So this was me when I was sewing it in my sewing machine. Are you seeing? So I moved the collar, that collar that I use 1/2 inch for, I moved it up, and then I first of all sewed the other one that I marked. I used my chalk to create my line. I hope you understand, but it's actually very easy, very easy. So this was me just sewing. Just watch closely how I'm sewing it. So when I'm done sewing it, you will see how it looks. Very clean. This is like the easiest way that I know how to sew a notch collar, and I pray that you will find it easy. So if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, like my video, leave a comment in the comment section if you have any question or any request on tutorial that you want me to do for you, and I will be glad to actually do that. So I was just sewing. Sorry that I'm kind of making it slow, but I just wanted you to understand what I'm doing. That's why I'm taking my time. So after sewing the lower part of the other collar, I just placed this other part to close the rough edge in the collar. Are you seeing our notch collar? It's almost ready. So this was it, guys. When I was done, are you seeing the notch? Are you seeing that notch part, that 1 inch that I left? Are you seeing it? So I'll just go ahead and just arrange it so you see how clean and how easy it actually is to make a notch collar. There is no big deal in making one. So this was it, guys. I'll go ahead and add my buttons, and then I'll show you the final results. So this is the final result, guys. Are you seeing how fine this shirt is? Like this 2-piece is. Thank you guys for watching my video. I'll see you in my next